Good afternoon, everyone. This is James from eDirectory. Emerson's going to join us here shortly. Welcome to our Q&A community forum, our webinar Wednesday. Today, I'll be happy to answer any questions anybody has about anything at all, really. So, yeah, come on in. I already got it started here. And here's Emerson, who handles our audio. All right. And if anybody has any trouble with the audio, a great way to do it is if you click the My Info in the upper right. There are local dial-in numbers that usually work pretty well if the audio sounds choppy. I guess the first question is, can everybody hear us okay this week? I know last week we had a little bit of an issue, but I think we got everything worked out. Okay, great. Great. Yeah, so community forum, I guess ask away. If anybody has any questions, just pop them into the chat and we'll be happy to discuss. Yeah. And yeah, while we're waiting for questions, we wanted to mention we have a new plugin that's available. It's called the Advanced Reviews plugin. And oh, one thing I want to mention is that we're changing the word mod for plugin just to give everybody some more clarity. So we're going to depreciate the word mod throughout our website and everywhere else. We're going to start calling them plugins, which I think gives it clarity and kind of fits with a lot of the industry. Anyway, so we have this great new mod, Advanced Reviews mod. What it does is it allows you to collect different
up to 5 different
questions. Yeah, so you can review, like, instead of just saying how'd you like the restaurant, how many stars. Now you can say how was the service, how was the ambiance, how was the price, how was the food quality, et cetera, et cetera. So yeah. Okay. So anyway, the advanced reviews plugin is ready.
And by listing type, so each listing type
can have their own review type. Yeah. Oh, that's fantastic. So the advanced reviews, you can have different questions by listing type. So for instance, hotel, you might have different questions than you would a restaurant or a golf course or et cetera. How are the greens, et cetera.
And the reviewer can upload up to 5 pictures.
Okay, great. And the reviewer can upload up to 5 pictures. Actually, I was aware of all these specs before we designed it, but it's a good to have a reminder. Yeah, so the reviewer can upload photos as well. It's a great mod. Take a look at it. Okay, we have a question here. Emerson said a few weeks ago that it comes in community forum, we can bring in new ideas, or have I misunderstood? Yeah, if you have new ideas for the software, absolutely. I'd love to hear them, and we'll talk about them. Certainly, things that you'd like in the base product, yeah, pop it in. Certainly, we're working right now on a number of things. In the technical background, we're upgrading the version of PHP to version 7, as well as the Elasticsearch version, I think, which is Elasticsearch 6, which they're working on now. We should have that ready in a few weeks. It's not; those are just sort of back-end things that help with performance, etc. Not necessarily the features. We have some feature development underway as well, both in the mod store as well. What was the other item there?
It's one pop-up modal widget package.
Okay.
People will be allowed to put one pop-up.
Okay.
And choose from 5 different animation.
Location animation type things.
Yeah, and there's an HTML editor that they can
add a pop-up. Okay, so that's
videos.
Yeah, whatever you want to add. So if you want to put a modal pop-up window, it'll just show up on the page, and that's a new plugin as well. That's ready. So yeah, so excited about that.
Early May it will be available for purchase.
Okay, the pop-up's early May,
Yeah.
right? The advanced review is already ready, though, I think.
Yeah.
Right? That one's already ready in there. So if you have any questions, you want to see a demo of those, just reach out to your account executive or Daniel Storm. You can reach out to him. Daniel Storm, I think many of you know who he is. Okay, we had a question here. Are there any mods planned that will help with the new European cookie law that's coming into effect? Yeah, we're actually working on that. What we're going to do is, I don't know if basically our plan is to just put an item in the site manager that helps with that, and basically that'll have that cookie consent form on the bottom. We studied this the new European law quite a bit. We think that generally speaking, the big thing that everybody needs to do is put in a new terms of use. That includes clear language, et cetera, et cetera. There are a whole bunch of samples of that on the web. We can't give one to you just because we're not lawyers and we don't really want to offer legal advice, but there's a whole bunch of samples there. And so if you upload that into your terms of service, that'll take care of a good part of it. And then the other thing is if people just want to have their data deleted, you can already do that just via the site manager, just delete the account, et cetera, and then it'll be gone. Delete the profile, delete the account. But we are going to make a pop-up pop-up consent form with language that fits the European law, and I believe that's actually not going to be a plugin, but it's going to go into the base product. And we are trying to get that out as quick as we can as a patch. And so basically, it'll just say there'll be a checkbox in the settings for enable cookie consent for that. And then I think at that point, I think you're taken care of as far as the law goes. The one big question I think people have is like, do I actually need the cookie consent form or not? And my understanding from the research that I did on this cookie consent thing, all these European websites have the cookie consent that pop up. Hey, do you accept cookies? And it's like, of course I do. My understanding of it is if you use tracking or other things that are non-key to the functionality for the cookies, that you do need to have that consent form if you're in Europe, you're European-based business. But if it is just stuff to store like the session through, then you don't. So the issue is if you have like Google Analytics and all that other stuff, then you probably do need the cookie consent form. That's kind of what we're understanding there. Yeah, so we're working hard on that. I don't have quite yet the date that it'll be ready, but it'll be out soon. If there's like, if you're a bigger company and you have like serious concerns about this and need something done faster, you can reach out to us by email. Just let us know, and we'll see what we can do to accommodate you. But I think, is there anything else that we need to discuss related?
We'll provide suggestion for the privacy policy. Our customers they will need to inform people who is the data processor, who is the data controller. So it depends on how they host their websites, with us or self-hosted. It changes who is the processor, who is the controller. Okay. So we will have a knowledge-based article to explain all these minor changes to the privacy policy.
Okay. Yeah, but we aren't going to give the full policy just for the legal reasons, but we will give some thoughts on what to put in those key sections there to make sure that you're covered for that. And great. So I don't think hopefully that'll blow over and won't be too much of a big deal for everybody. But if anybody has real concerns, please let us know, certainly, as far as that goes. Yeah, great. Let's see, any more questions? What else are we working on? And one other thing I want to mention is that if anybody has anything that they want to suggest for the base code, please send that over. You can drop it in the chat right now, obviously. This is what the community forum is for. But don't hesitate to send us an email if there are features that you'd like to see in the product. We have a number of things on the roadmap, of course. A lot of it is just refining the usability. working on the lead generation features to make that more effective. Some new layout. We have a new layout that's nearly ready to go out here, which should be nice. A new layout option if you want to use it as a base. And new widgets as well, a number of new widgets. So we have a solid roadmap, but certainly if anybody has any features they'd like to suggest, we're definitely open to hearing them. Sure. Great. Do we have a question? Looks like we have. Any more questions? Yeah. Okay, we see somebody typing. So. Okay, well, I guess is that it for the questions today? I guess it's a pretty quick community forum. Yeah, I guess that we should probably do a demo of that table, and we'll probably do it next week. I've been talking about it a while, so. Okay, all right. Okay. Oh, in this community, we can also see the roadmap. Also, in this community, we can also see the roadmap, and maybe we can also bring it to our own customer as an own mod. I don't know if I understand that quite right in this community. So yeah, I guess when I was talking about the roadmap, the product roadmap, yeah, if you need to tell your own customer, I think we have a written version, certainly. It's not something that we release because sometimes there needs to be some flex to get the release out. Just that, we try to set ambitious goals and etc. But if there's something that you need, I'm happy to have a further conversation about it. There's a lot of things that we're 100% certain are going to go out and when they're going to go out, etc. But yeah, it's not. We don't like to release the full written roadmap regularly. But certainly, you're able to tell your customer where we're headed for sure. Is it possible to change the text directly onto the sign-up form? Yeah, we actually have that. All of the Advertise with Us page, I think we have that nearly ready to go out, or we have a new widget that is just easily customizable for that. One other thing there's a way to do it now though, and basically what you do is change the sign-up page. You go to the front of the site, view source, copy the little snippet of HTML. That is the form and the text, like where you see the text you want to change, and the whole with the sign-up buttons and everything, and then copy that HTML, and then open up the page editor to the advertise page, and then add a new custom HTML widget, and then paste in the source there, and then that source code will be static text that generates what's on the front, and then you can change that text and save it, and then delete the one that's dynamically generated, and just have the static generated one that you've changed. And that way you can already edit what you need on the front. It's a little bit, it isn't hard to do by any means, but you just need to figure out where to cut in the HTML, which isn't that hard. You can probably, if you really need some help on figuring out where to do the cut and copy, our support team can certainly help you with that. Just send them an email and tell them, hey, you want to edit this, and I heard you can copy and paste, and they'll give you the tips on how to do that. But yeah, you can do that already, and we should have a nice, easy to use widget out for that shortly here. Yeah. All right. Okay. Well, I guess if we don't have any, oh, we got a couple more. Let's see. In the community forum. Okay. So we had a clarification there. Uh, the community forum. Okay, member only mod should apply to little apps. That's good feedback on the member only mod. I'm actually going to note that there. That it needs to work for the mobile apps too. I actually wasn't aware of that shortcoming, so certainly I'll verify what the status is on that. If that isn't how it's working now, it'll certainly be fixed. They're probably working on it, but okay. As Demerson about the franchise mod. Sorry about the sound there. Yeah, I think we hit the wrong button there. Emerson was just telling me that yeah, we don't have the franchise mod available yet for international, and actually we weren't even sure about the demand on that. If there is going to be sufficient demand to build the mod and maintain it. So we're looking into that. I guess we can follow up with them after the meeting. Yeah, we'll go talk to our team and we can follow up on that after. What does the franchise mod do anyway specifically?
Basically, they can create sub-managers related to a specific territory.
I see. Okay, create sub-territories of site managers that allows you to basically have individual people manage territories of the site, listing territory. I guess it's done on a geographic basis. So that way you can have a set of sales reps, et cetera, and they have control of that area. But the site all comes together. So yeah, so we'll follow up with you, Damien, on that after the call. We'll go see it. If anybody else has interest in it, certainly let us know. And if there is enough interest, that'll certainly be helpful with that. Okay, great. Any more questions? Okay, Google Plus is dead. While many businesses showcase their products and services via Instagram, Google Plus should be replaced with Instagram. Yeah, I suspect actually you're right about that as far as Google Plus. I think the one thing Google's been successful with is the login with Google, just because everybody has a Google account they have an Android phone or they use Gmail or whatever. But yeah, the share on Google Plus, I suspect that is something that is. I'll note that here with Instagram. Okay, that's good feedback. I appreciate that, Michael. Yeah. All right. Okay. Any more comments? Any more questions? Yeah, the social profiles on the listing page. Okay, I understand. Yeah. Okay, any more questions? We'll get another minute here. Yeah. And also, again, if anybody has anything they'd like us to discuss in the webinars, certainly don't hesitate to post it in here, let us know, and we can put content together for Right. And I guess that looks like, I guess that's about it. What do we have up next week for the webinar? We're going to do running the sales team next week. Get some tips on that. It's a solid webinar. And yeah, okay. Oh, we got one more comment. Okay, great. I used to be able to add additional options to the levels on the advertise page, but I don't think I can do it now. Is that right? Yeah, I think what I just explained on how to edit those additional options via the copy the HTML. That's the way to do it currently. We are going to have a new advertise page widget that'll be coming out very shortly. That isn't so dynamically tied to the listing stuff, and then you can just edit it. I think that's going to be out very, very shortly here, and we'll be able to get it to you. It's not like a full major upgrade. It's just a new widget that we put in. Yeah, but right now you can't edit that unless you create a, if you look at it, that page is basically, there's 4 buttons that go to the checkout, and they pass in just a variable with the level of the listing that people are interested in, whether it's basic, whatever. And then the rest of it is just text content. So you can change that page however you want, just using those other tools in the page editor, just creating a little content area there and putting in, hey, this is what we're offering, blah, 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 order here, and then that button just goes to that link that's the same link as now. So it's really not hard to do. If you want to make it look exactly like the current version, you just copy the HTML source, paste it in as source, and save it, and then delete the old dynamically generated widget off the page, and then you're ready to go for that. But yeah, our support team can walk you through that, certainly, Bill, so don't hesitate to reach out about that. All right. Okay, I guess that's, I don't see any more questions. Last call. Last call. Okay, I guess no more questions. So thanks for joining us this week. Let me just type in my email here if anybody has anything that comes up later. Here's my email. If anything comes up later, don't hesitate, just reach out. And otherwise, good luck to you, and we look forward to seeing you in the future. Okay, thanks. Bye-bye. Bye.